ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीयां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वचक्षुरा ततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। And everybody say after me, Hare Ram Krishna 3 times. Om Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna. Okay. We forgot to do the Nakshatra Suktam last week, and this week we will do it. We are doing 4 Phalguni now. We finished up to Magha. So 4 Phalguni is Matra. Om Gavampati Phalguni Namasitvam Tadaryaman Varuna Mitracharu Tam Tva Vayam Savitaram Saninam Jiva Jivan Samupatam Vishema Yenema Vishra Bhuvanani Sanjita Yasya Deva Anusamyanti Cheta Haryama Raja Charastu Vishman Phalguni Nam Rishabho Raviti Purva Phalguni Devatam Suryam. Next, this is the mantra for 4 Phalguni. 4 Phalguni is Devata. The next mantra is 4 Phalguni is Devata Surya. Yeah, Surya. The next mantra is for Bhaga, the Lord of Uttar Phalguni Nakshatra. Shrestho Devanam Bhagavo Bhagasi Tattva Vidu Phalguni Tasya Vitta Asmabhyam Kshatramajaram Suviryam Gomadasya Utparatannu Deha Bhago Hadata Bhagajit Pradata Bhago Devi Phalguni Ravivesha Bhagasyettam Pratavangamema Yatra Devai Sabhamadam Madema. This is the mantra for Bhaga, the Lata Patra Phalguni Nakshatra. Yeah, he is one of the Adityas, one of the 12 Adityas, and he is the Lord for, basically Bhaga means, literal meaning is passion. He is the Lord of passion and energy in whatever he is. Somehow I felt that we did the Phalguni. So, yeah. We did? Okay, we'll continue from Swati in the next class. Okay. So, today also I don't really have any agenda. So, if you have any chart that you want to take a look at, you can do that today also. Anybody other than Seshu? Because he seems to be the one who gets all the charts. He seems to be the one who's doing a lot of charts. All of you seem to be doing only your charts.
I don't have a chart, but this is matching chart.
Oh, matching to charts?
Yeah.
Let's just leave it. Anything else?
Last class we talked about conceptual chart.
Yeah.
So I looked at one of the other data.
Okay.
We have 3 cycles chart.
Yeah.
So moving in the chart period. Okay. That is the pattern. So the Lakshya is in the left side. She is also still little baby. She is mentally disordered. Not upset. Not with other things. So our 5 to 4 years That these also affect what charts are there. And then in our chart also, moon is the 6th house in the Rashi chart. Aries rising. I'm just telling how correlated it is.
Very good, very good. So, whenever you learn, look at new charts. Like that, if somebody has some mental disturbance, mind is not really the so-called stable mind, like the normal mind. If my mind is abnormal for somebody, you will see something, some affliction of moon in the T30 chart.
And these chart, the ascendant is in Cancer, and then 8th house Mercury and 9th house moon is there, but it's a Saturn, 8th lord.
Okay. So Saturn is afflicted by, moon is afflicted by Saturn in a couple of charts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both D30 as well as D30.
Okay. If you see affliction of moon by either Saturn or Rahu or Ketu, the nodes, you see that affliction in the D30 chart, D6 also, but most importantly D30 when you are talking about mental problems. You see that in D30 there is something going on. Either the person already has some mental problems or may develop when the right time comes. May not have happened until now. But basically the susceptibility is there. D30 is the chart that shows the susceptibilities of the person, where the person is vulnerable. And if moon is affected, definitely there is vulnerability in the mind. So there are some subconscious weaknesses which manifest in the mind basically going better. That's what it means. Moon being with Rahu or Ketu or Saturn in D30. So for such people, basically, if you see such a person, find out if there is already a problem. If there isn't, you don't have to tell them that you will develop a problem later. You don't have to tell them. But give them some precaution. And if the person doesn't come to you, let's say the person's father or person's wife or husband or mother comes to you, you can indicate to them that there may be some problem in the future relating to mental stability. So give some remedies. The key is doing some remedies. If moon is in Scorpio with Saturn in this particular chart, 8th lord in the 12th house, is that good or bad? In normal chart. But I keep telling you, in D6 and D30, there is no Viparita Rajayoga. When it comes to health, there isn't anything called Viparita Rajayoga. In those cases, 8th lord wherever he is, 12th lord wherever he is, 6th lord wherever he is, they are meant only to give you suffering. So if you see Sagittarius Lagna with the 8th lord moon in the 12th house, the two with Saturn,
There are communication problems, many kind of temper tantrums going through correlated.
Anger. How does anger?
And
Aries give anger.
And stubbornness, right?
Yeah.
Scorpio is stubbornness.
Yeah, quite possible. Like I said in the last class, based on the sign occupied by moon, you can say what kind of weakness is there. So if it is moon is in Aries or Scorpio in somebody's D30, their mind, the main weakness will be anger. Their mind will be susceptible to anger. So whatever you said perfectly makes sense based on the D30. So she needs to worship corresponding to moon and Saturn. The Devata has to be corresponding to moon and Saturn. So what do you suggest? Who is the Devata for moon? Lakshmi is for Venus. Who is for moon? Okay? But the planet is debilitated. If a planet is exalted, we usually suggest male deity. If the planet is debilitated, we usually suggest female deity. So who should it be? Parvati. Moon is Parvati. And moon is with Saturn. Who does it show? Who is shown by Saturn? Which Devata? Saturn is Kali. Kali. And they are in Scorpio. Scorpio can be Chandi. So master signs can be Chandi. So it can be either Chandi or Kali. And probably the main effect is Saturn there. Saturn's affliction on moon. So probably Kali would be right. Of course, a small kid cannot pray to Kali, but you can put a picture of Kali or an idol of Kali, and elders basically can pray to Kali. If you are really into sadhana, into Kali sadhana, and you want to see Kali and so on, do it in the midnight. If you are just praying to Kali for a materialistic purpose, you don't really have to do it at midnight. You can do it anytime. Whereas if you are doing sadhana of Kali as a Mahavidya and you want to see Kali, then probably doing at midnight is advisable. So here the purpose is different. You are not praying to Kali as a Mahavidya. You are praying to Kali as somebody who will solve a minor materialistic problem. I mean, for goddess, calling her to solve your mental problems or to solve your health problems is actually a silly thing to her. To somebody it may be everything in your life. If somebody has mental problem or excruciating pain somewhere, that may be everything for that person. Because our concept of time is different from God's concept of time. Different levels of deities have different concept of God. If you take Shiva's time or Indra's time, one day in Indra's life is basically 1 year in our life. So for him time moves slower. And for some other gods, time moves even slower. And then there are some rishis who are above time. For them there is no time. They are absolutely outside the domain of Mahakala, the god of time. So her sense of time is different. So for her, if you suffer for let's say 5 years, for her that is not even a split second. That is a very short time. So he doesn't care. Oh, he let me suffer for another microsecond, you will think. But for you it is a long time. So the thing is, if you are disturbing her and asking her to come and take care of your small problem, it's a silly thing. That's why I use the word silly. Even though no disrespect meant for the person, but as far as she is concerned, it's a silly thing. So if somebody asks for Mahavidya, somebody asks for the knowledge of self, then that is a worthy cause for her. But if somebody is asking for relief from a simple silly problem, it's not a worthy cause for her. So you are basically, even though you are praying to Kali, you are praying to a smaller ansha of Kali. You are not praying to full Mahavidya, the Mahakali. So, pardon me? So for that, any time is fine.
If Kali somehow completed this year to
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
especially if you go to homecoming category,
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
that is the kind of motivation people have.
Yeah.
How do you do this?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people have, especially with all the imagery. Kali, she is depicted as black, fearsome, and then tongue coming out, a garland made of skull, and on there are hands hanging around her waist. So when people see all that, of course it's all symbolic. There is symbolism in all those hands and all those skulls, etc. But because people don't want to completely understand her nature, and also she basically stands for detachment. Kali is the devata who stands for complete detachment. Because she is Saturn. Among all the planets, she has the energy of Saturn. What does Saturn symbolize? Give up everything, cut off everything. If you want something, Saturn will say, do you really think you need it? You don't need it. Just get over it. That's what Saturn will say. That is Saturn control. Yeah. If I deprive you of that thing for a couple of weeks, you will get used to being without it. So what is the real need for it? That is Saturn's approach. Cut off everything, then you are free. That is what Saturn wants to do to people. So Mahakala and Mahakali, they have Saturn's energy in them. They are the form of Shiva and Parvati with Saturn's energy. So Kali, the real Mahakali, as Mahavidya, as the great knowledge, she basically symbolizes cutting off all the bonds. Just khanda munda, cut everything, so that you don't have any attachment left. If you don't have any attachment to anything, you don't depend on anything, you are liberated. So that is the way she brings liberation. That is Kali's way. But there are so many different forms of Kali. You have Sachana Kali, Bhadra Kali, Karana Kali, so many different Kali. So also one of the forms of the same Kali is Kalikamba, the Mother Kali. So if you pray to that Mother Kali, she realizes, okay, this person wants moksha in the long run, but for now, temporarily, he or she is affected by so-and-so problem. For him, it may not be too much for me, but for him, it is a big problem, so let me take care of it. So she thinks like that. So there is that form of Kali also. So for example, the temple where we did the Satyanji Home a couple of weeks back in India, let's say Kalikamba temple, where Kali is basically worshipped as a mother, as a divine mother. So there are so many people who come to that temple to ask for silly things, and many of them actually get what they ask. So that is the kind of temple, that is the kind of Kali that you have to worship in this kind of situation. Don't worship Kali using one of the Mahavidya mantras. That will be silly. Because those mantras are only for getting full data, for getting the understanding of self, only for getting self-realization. So you have to understand which form of the Devata you are worshipping, especially with Devatas like Kali. And the thing is, with Kali, like you said, with all that imagery, skulls, etc., with that kind of imagery, if you really want to get over all this material life, if you don't really care anything about this material life, if you want to get over it, become fully detached and get self-realization, then that kind of imagery doesn't make you afraid. Some sadhakas for whom that kind of imagery is appropriate are not basically put off by it. If you are put off by that imagery, don't use that imagery. It's not the only way Kali can be represented. So anyway, tell them to worship Kalikamba, and that will give some relief. And actually, one thing I can suggest is, in the Durga Saptashati, in the Chandi Patham, the Adhyayam where Chandamunda are killed, that would be 5, 6 to 8, 7th Adhyaya, the 7th chapter in Durga Saptashati, the Patamadhyaya. Check whether that is the right one. I believe that is the right one. In that Adhyaya, Kalika basically kills Chanda and Munda. So it's a small Adhyaya, it's 30 verses or so. It's very easy to read. So tell the parents, so whether father or mother, whoever is more religiously inclined, tell that person to read that particular chapter every day. Okay? Just have a small picture of Kali in front of him and read that chapter. And think of before he does and after he does, think of his daughter. Say, not necessarily in Sanskrit, say that he is doing it for the benefit of his or her daughter. And then okay, any other things that you found? Yeah. Can you speak a little louder?
The particular sun is in Lagna,
Yeah.
with Rahu,
Yeah.
and Lagna is typically in the house in Vidya. So just from the fact that the Lagna is in the house, there are other indications I could make.
Yeah.
And also there is in Vidya. So I suggested that when the field comes from the master, or from now just have a picture of Guru in the room where you have seen.
Yeah.
It will strengthen the Lagna in house.
Yeah.
And basically strengthen the Lagna. Just because of the Saurabha or Rasnamantu or okay, still on the wall constitutes which is yet to get the image and then doing some kind of
Okay. Very good choice.
but in the main form, so my question is
Lagna Lord is always an auspicious sign, wherever he is. He is in the 8th house or 6th house, he may show that the person, what is Lagna Lord? What is Lagna? Lagna is your core existence. Lagna Lord is the intelligence that is driving this core existence, the intelligence behind your core existence, your basic intelligence, your basic thinking ability, thinking faculty. That is Lagna Lord. So that Lagna Lord going into a house that shows lot of struggle means you are always engaging yourself in hard work. Your intelligence is being applied so that you are always working hard. It doesn't mean it's bad for you. He doesn't. Bottom line is his agenda is always to give you good health. But he does it by making you work hard. That is what Lagna Lord in the 8th house for. So Lagna Lord in the 8th house, in that case, praying to Lagna Lord is not at all a bad idea. And especially Sun and Rahu being together in Lagna are an important house, are aspecting Lagna. In those cases, specifically Dakshinamurti is recommended. When Sun and Rahu are together in the chart, in a sensitive house, going to Dakshinamurti will channelize the energy. So what you suggested is very good, especially out of all the gurus you mentioned. Dakshinamurti would be the most appropriate. If they have a picture of Dakshinamurti in the room, even otherwise, I strongly feel that when the child grows up, is it a boy or girl? Irrespective of it. When the girl grows up, she may be inclined towards worshipping Shiva, worshipping Dakshinamurti, worshipping Shiva as a guru. So that will anyway happen in slow time, in sweet time. That will anyway happen. But if they have a picture, it doesn't hurt. It's a good start. Where is moon?
Moon is in the ninth house.
Fifth lord in the ninth house. Fifth lord and ninth lord aspecting each other. Very good. Okay, fine. Still, fifth lord in the ninth house aspected by the ninth lord. So fifth lord and ninth lord are aspecting each other on the ninth house. That is good. You have a strong sense of dharma. The person will have a strong sense of dharma and follow the dharma. Because there is Chandramangal Yoga. See, Lagna is beside Pisces. So moon in the ninth house and Mars, ninth lord, they are aspecting each other. Yeah. So it's a figure there.
When you have a sixth lord in Lagna, the part in one of the classes that is the double position and the
Yeah. Health may be quite bad. Lagna lord is in 8th house and also 6th lord is in Lagna. Afflicted by enemy Rahu. So, could be related to stomach digestion. But there will be some health problems. That cannot be health.
But the health, in case of health problems, the person will bring out stuff that problem and you can say, Vara Lord.
Yeah.
But the Vara Lord is very detailed sentence. Happened at 6 o'clock in the morning. Can we say Monday, Sunday?
Last Sunday.
Last Monday. Weekday is Monday. Very weekday is Sunday.
Okay. So, yeah.
So, the Vardhan is done. So, the troubles are really bringing out of the troubles.
He is the one who can, he also happens to be Varesha. He is the one who is supposed to take care of him, but he himself is giving problem. So in such a case, if you pray to him, he will get her out of the problem.
But you very pray to Varesha because he is also the sixth lord.
More than Varesha here, the Varesha is afflicted by Rahu and very weak. Right? Sun is afflicted by Rahu. How close is Sun to Rahu? Must be close. Rahu is at 10 degrees. So 7 days back means Sun must be 4 degrees, 5 degrees. Yeah. So 5 degrees, 10 degrees is quite close. So Sun is very badly afflicted by Rahu. And Sun's affliction in general shows weak constitution. And that happening in Lagna itself, it shows your very being. Definitely it shows when the right dasha comes, health problems. Probably at a young age itself, because it is in Lagna. Usually if it is in Lagna, it can happen at a very young age. So there can be health problems in a young age. So that can be helped by praying to Jupiter. Because Jupiter is Lagna Lord, point number 1. Point number 2, because that Jupiter is also the Lagna Lord, he is in Rogbada. If you look at the Rogbada in this case, that must be in Tula, Libra. Because you said Pisces Lagna, 6th Lord, Sun is in 8th from it. If you take the 8th from there, it is Libra. So Rogbada, 8th is in Libra. So Jupiter, whose interest is in protecting the health, is in the house, is in the Arudha that is supposed to give manifestation of this. So, and moreover, when Sun and Rahu are together, always it is Jupiter who rescues Sun. So, for all these reasons, you pray to Jupiter, takes care of all your problems. So, Jupiter, either pray to Brahaspati, Jupiter as himself, or to one of the great teachers like Vyasa, Dakshinamurti, Dattatreya, Sai Baba, etc. I think that should definitely help. What was the nakshatra? Anuradha, Vishakha, Jyeshtha. Anuradha. So in the beginning it is Nayadasha. Not bad. The first dasha is not running. If dasha is also a bad dasha, then there will be more concern. So dasha is Nayadasha, so actually it's not dasha. Actually, Satyahani dasha would apply. So it is Satyahani. That is enough. So check what Satyahani dasha is running. If Sun dasha, Rahu dasha, or Ketu dasha are running, then there is some concern. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Any other charts then? If you don't have any charts, then I will give you a chart. If you have a chart, we will see your that chart. If you don't have, then I will give a chart and give you. You don't have any charts that you want to discuss? Let me ask you one question. How many charts do you see in a week on average? Roughly. You don't have to give me exact 7.3499 like that answer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 10. How many charts do you see per week? 2 to 3 charts. Okay? Huh? That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
For example, I think the shape chart of Devadi.
That's good. That's good. Your chart?
My chart might be from my relative to your.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start, but also you should start seeing charts. The thing is, you may not make correct predictions in the beginning, but if you start trying, then only you make progress. Otherwise, you learn something, if you come through 1 year and go through the other year. So you have to basically keep practicing, and then you will get doubts. When you get doubts, bring them to the class, then we can discuss. Okay? And the thing is, more than the science, more than the principle, the application has some subjective element to it. Even though we have principles like 8th Lord in so-and-so house is bad, 8th Lord in so-and-so house, that the second give there, like that we have principles. But the bottom line is, there are contradictory influences. It's not just one formula that you apply and get an answer. There are so many formulas that you apply. So you get so many answers. So you have to balance all those and make the final call. And that's essentially a subjective process. And that subjective process, your brain has to be trained in. So that happens only if you see more and more charts. So you guys should start seeing charts. Yes? Go ahead.
Basically, one chart with the star has the Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Moon, and Saturn.
Mars, Jupiter, Rahu?
The Moon and Saturn. There are 6 planets, 5 planets in the.
You want to open that chart?
Yes.
Sure.
There are so many yogas in that one house.
Yeah? Yeah, we'll see. Yes, those are the tricky charts. The charts where you have so many planets in one house. All kinds of yogas will be there. Good, bad, ugly. So it's tough to balance all the factors. Especially in 1962, there was, I think, a huge Grahakuta in Keshagan, like 6 or 7 planets in Keshagan. Probably all the planets. Like, I forget. Several planets were there. Yeah, probably 6. 1962, I think. No? Was it 1960? Around that time, there was a big Grahakuta. No, something is wrong. Okay, anyway, we'll make your chart. So when astrologers used to get confused with all those charts.
Because that time Saturn only Libra, all
So you do see charts where there are
Guru in the Cancer.
Yeah.
March
28,
1980.
March 28, 1980. Time?
6:45 a.m.
6:45 a.m.
Afternoon.
Oh, here. Okay. Let me load the font size and see exactly what is Mars. Oh, okay. Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Moon, Saturn, like you said, just like you said. The software is really struggling to put these planets. Oh yeah, chemistry. So a lot of planets. Okay. So this is an interesting chart. How should I save it? Initials or name, whatever you want.
You can say
Arun. Okay. Yeah, VC, I may not know that. Example. To me, VC stands for venture capital. You are related, you are not related. Okay. So, the chart is cast for Boston, Mass, 6:45 a.m., March 28, 1980. The Lagna is 23:45 minutes Aries, and Moon is 10 degrees 19 minutes Leo. Okay. So, we will see this chart. So, what do you want to, where are you coming from? What do you want to see in the chart?
This chart is given to me for different reasons. Okay. But I would just want to know this, there are 5 planets of one house.
Yeah.
There are good yogas and bad yogas.
Yeah.
How do you interpret this when you trigger?
Okay. So the question is, there is Gargeshwar Yoga, there is Gurumangal Yoga, there is Chandramangal Yoga, there is Gurjandal Yoga. And Moon is affected by 3 main things. That is Rahu. 3 planets are retrograde. Yeah. So Rahu is always retrograde. So except Moon, who cannot be retrograde, everybody who can be retrograde is retrograde. Okay. So this,
My view in this case is if you use Narasimha Rao, and then you go to the 3-part rule of who is applicable at what time, because then it is very easy to say now is the wrong time or now is the fault of I think one of the learning of the unit is not the process. Where everything is can be complete.
Okay. Okay. In the Nakshatra Dasha, let us say we want to use Nakshatra Dasha. What is the Nakshatra Dasha that is applicable here? What is the Nakshatra Dasha? Seventh Lord is in Lagna. So after a long time we are getting an example of the Saptavikram Dasha. If the 7th Lord Venus is in Lagna, we apply the Saptavikram Dasha, right? So we use the Dasha. So Mars Dasha. Whose results will be given by Mars? First, forget who the planets are. Just arrange them in the order of beneficence. Who is the most beneficial of all the planets there? No question about it. Jupiter. Whether retrograde or direct, it is Jupiter. Then, is it Moon? Is Moon a benefic Moon or malefic Moon? It is Shukla Trayodasi. The Tithi at birth is Lunate is Shukla Trayodasi, which means almost full moon, actually 2 days before full moon. So he is benefic. So Moon is a benefit. So Jupiter is the highest benefit. Next is Moon. And then Saturn, Mars, Rahu. What is the order of beneficence in that? Who is the worst benefic? Mars is more benefic, then Saturn, and then finally Rahu. In general, Saturn is more benefic than Rahu. So, Jupiter, Moon, Mars, Saturn and Rahu. So, Jupiter and Rahu have to exchange each other together. The first and the last. Jupiter and Rahu have to exchange. But will they exchange? Unlikely. So, Jupiter will say, oh, you want me to give your result? I get it. I give my result. Degrees, yeah, that's a good question. Jupiter is at 7 degrees and Rahu is at 3 degrees. They are quite close. They are very close. So actually affliction to Jupiter is very close. We will talk about it later, but as far as results are concerned, Jupiter will give his own result, Rahu will give his own result, and who else are exchanging? Moon and Saturn. Will they exchange their result? Yeah. Yeah. So Moon Dasha will give Saturn result, Saturn Dasha will give Moon result. What about Mars? He has to give his own result. So Mars is giving his own result, Mercury is giving Ketu's result. Yeah. I'm looking at Dasha. Mars is giving his own result, Mercury is giving Ketu's result. We didn't discuss it, but Mercury and Ketu are also together. And then Jupiter is giving his own result, Venus is giving his own result, Saturn is giving Moon result. So that is how you apply the results as far as Nakshatra Dashas are concerned. But like Ketu said, you can always use Narayana Dasha. If you want to see what is going on, that may in fact be the best thing to do. So what is the Dasha he is running right now? Cancer Dasha he is running right now. Actually, do you see one interesting thing? When is Leo Dasha coming out? 2014 to 2019, how old will the child be? 34 years to 39 years. Can you say something right away? Will that be like crucial time in life or what? Life changing? Huh? So many yogas will be triggered suddenly. So many planets in that one sign, and that dasha is coming. So 2014 to 19, so much will happen in this life. So you don't have to do anything else. Just look at that Rashi chart, look at this Narayana chart, tell him. After 2014, 5 years will be crucial time. You will go through so many ups and downs, so much changes will happen in your life. If you give such a prediction, you will not be wrong. Exactly what happens then, that is tough to say. By that you have to see. But the thing is,
middle part of the life. Middle part of the life. So basically something good or bad.
Yes.
Happen.
Yes.
Middle part of
That's why you have to exaggerate. You have to dramatize it. Don't say. You have to say. See, you have to learn psychology of predictions also. So if you are giving prediction to this person, if you say between 34 and 39, lot will happen in your life. Like you said, you think midlife crisis and readjustment, all this happens anyway. So you have to tell him. Lot of people go through lot of changes during life, right? But in your case, it will be so tremendous, so huge that you just cannot believe. When you look back when you are 40 years old, you will say, oh man, last 5 years or something. So dramatize and tell like that. The advantage of that is, even if actually nothing really great happens, still it will seem to the person as though that happened. So that is the thing. When you give subjective predictions like this, people generally can interpret it based on. Of course, somebody may have gone through very smooth midlife crisis very smoothly, because not everybody experiences it. So if that is a very smooth time for somebody, then he will know. But 90% of the cases with such a subjective prediction you will be right. But in any case, here, forgetting the subjective nature of the statement we made just now, here there is clearly some big changes in life happening at that time. Now what are the possibilities? Actually, before we say that, let us also look at the Dasha Pravesha. Okay? We'll ask them later, but without asking we are doing something in the okay? What is in store? That's a good question. But we are using only Rashi, so we don't have to discuss here. 31 minutes, 40 minutes, so we are safe. How is the Dasha Pravesha? See, the thing is, even without somebody asking you, when you see something really standing out, crying out, like, look at me, there is a feature in the chart that is standing out, you basically want to investigate it a little bit, whether the person asks you answer. Because sometimes something may come out that you tell the person that will be helpful. So what do you see in the Dasha Pravesha Chakra? When the Leo Dasha starts, this is the Dasha Pravesha Chakra. What are the things you see? Is there any important thing that you see? Will there be success or, based on the Dasha Pravesha Chakra, will there be success or will there be failure? Will there be sickness or health? What do you see? Lagna Lord is in the 11th house. Okay, forget the Arudha here in Dasha Pravesha. Just Lagna Lord is in the 11th house. Good or bad? Very good. Very good. So health and other Lagna Lord, Ketu is in 6th house. Good or bad? Lagna Lord in 6th house is not so good. Shows some health problems. But Ketu in 6th house is good. So Lagna Lord Ketu in 6th house means there will be some health problems. It will not be perfect. But he will easily come out of all the problems. So there will be some worries, but health will be fine. What about Saturn and Rahu in the 12th house? The fourth lords of house, comfort and also house, they are in the 12th house. Good or bad? Will you be happy, comfortable, or unhappy, uncomfortable? And Rahu in the 12th house, what would he normally show? Foreign travel or settling down abroad, moving from other country. So the person may be out of US for a long time during those 5 years. He may even leave US and go somewhere else, settle down in some other country during that time. That's a strong possibility. Saptati Samadasha running during that time, is it, what is the 2014 to 19, right? So most of the time it is Saturn, and then Rahu. So Saturn, Venus is running, and later Rahu is running. In the same Dasha, during the same Narayan Dasha, Rahu Dasha will be there. Okay, in Chaturthamsa, Saturn is in Bhadakasthana, Venus is Bhadaka Lord in the 7th house. There is a Parivartana between 7th and 11th house. In the Bhadakasthana and 7th house. There is a chance of traveling abroad. So one thing you can say is we will have a lot of travel abroad. Away from the mother country. Mother country meaning US. He will be going away maybe to South America, Europe, Asia. So he will be traveling somewhere constantly and may even live away. And how is Jupiter? What does Jupiter's placement show? Fifth Lord in 8th house. What does it show? Some unhappiness or problems related to children. Jupiter is Karaka for children and also Lord of the house of children. So some has. Pardon me? He is also the second Lord. He is in the 8th house. Is it good for finances or bad for finances? Second Lord in the 8th house. Okay. Yes. Occult studies is quite possible when Jupiter is second Lord and fifth Lord and he is in the 8th house. Occult studies are quite possible. But the present one is that this is showing. This Dasha Pravesh chart is showing. So that's fine. We also have to see the Dasha and then conclude. But based on the Dasha Pravesh, there is a possibility. And then second Lord in the 8th house can also show sudden gains in money, like in a lottery or in stock or some speculation. So suddenly rising in the finances is possible. How is career? Does career look okay or bad? The 10th Lord Sun is in the 5th house. Good or bad? That's very good. 10th Lord in the 5th house means the 2 Sun. Recognition for abilities in workplace. So he have a great career during that time. So materially he seems to be fine. Health, finances, career, all those based on all those things he seems to be fine. So overall it will be a good time. Okay, so that is one thing you can see. Now, if you want to divide this into 3 parts, how do you divide it into 3 parts? That is, first the sign will take result. Sign will take one of the 1/3 to grant its result. Sign will get its turn first. The sign is a Ishwadaya Rangli, head-raising sign. So it will take the very first available portion. So the first 1/3 will give the result of 5th house. 5th house is children, mantra, ability, following, etc. So getting recognition at work, getting children, all those results are possible in the first 1/3, 2014 to 2015 now. Then second 1/3 will give the results of Sun, because the Lord will select his portion next, and Lord is in Ushadaya, Sun. Ushadaya means he will prefer to give his results in the middle one. So in the 3/3 of the Dasha, the middle will give the results of Sun. And finally, and by the way, if the 5th Lord Sun is in the 12th house, that shows occult knowledge. One of the results given in literature for 5th Lord in the 8th house is scholarship in occult subjects or scholarship in unconventional subjects. Why? Because 12th house is the 8th house from 5th house. 5th house is the house of scholarship, and the Lord of that house is in the 8th from it. So what kind of scholarship? Relating to occult knowledge. Okay. Similarly, let us say that Lord, the Lord of the 5th house is, let's say, in the 11th house. 7th from it. 7th house is the house of desires, material. So if that combination, the result of it is the person will have great scholarship in sensual matters, like matters relating to desire, etc. So he will be very well learned in sensual matters. That is the result given in literature for 5th Lord in the 11th house. So like that, 6th house is basically your scholarship, what you know. The 4th house is the process of gaining scholarship, basically learning. 6th house is what you have already learned. That is your scholarship, what is already stored here as knowledge. That is 6th house. So based on which house the 5th Lord occupies from the 5th house, you can conclude what kind of knowledge the person may have. So here, because the 5th Lord is in 8th house, actually there is a parivartana between 5th and 8th Lord. Sun and Jupiter. So earlier when we gave the results, again there is parivartana is making the matter more complicated. So anyway, so because there is a parivartana between 6th and 12th Lord, definitely there will be occult knowledge. So even if the person is not interested right now, the time basically hasn't come. When the time comes, the person may become interested. So the middle 1/3 there is a possibility. In 2015 to 17, there is a possibility of getting some interest in occult, getting some interest in the subjects and trying to pursue. And finally, the last 1/3, this is when all the changes in life will happen. 2017 to 2019. During that time, the results of all the planets in this house and aspecting this house, there are about 6 planets. You have to give the result. And how long is this period? 2 years, less than 2 years actually. 4 months less than 2 years. That is 20 months. So within 20 months, 6 planets have to take turns and give their result. So during that time, there will be a lot of changes. There will be so many things happening suddenly. If we want to confirm, we can look at the annual charts of those years. How is 2017? How is 2017? The ruler of the year is Venus. He is basically a Yogakaraka, exalted, but problem is he is retrograde. Exalted and retrograde means equivalent to debilitation. So there is actually, even though he is Yogakaraka, there is some undesirable thing about it. Moreover, he is afflicted by Sun, 8th Lord. So 10th and 5th Lord is afflicted by Sun. So it shows some setback. Some yoga basically that he is enjoying is weakened. Some yoga bhanga it shows. And moreover, look at Moon. How is Moon? He is quite badly afflicted. Moon is afflicted by Rahu. And moreover, 7th Lord Moon in the 8th house. What does it show? 7th Lord Moon in the 8th house can show death or death-like suffering. So, yeah, it can give break in marriage. That is possibility. That is a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. But it is a marka. 7th Lord in 8th is a marka in Rashi. In Navamsha, it is more about marriage. But in the Rashi chart, it is actually your physical existence. So there can be some big suffering, some death-like suffering, accident, etc. So that is one thing we see. Yes, Moon is a marka. Not good. So just a quick look at this particular year's chart. There are some undesirable things. So that year may see some negative events. What about the next year? How is next year? Lagna Lord Sun is in the 8th house with Mercury. The 2nd Lord Mercury. Who is Hora Lord? Jupiter is Hora Lord. He is the Lord of the 8th house. And Sun is with Mercury, and Mercury is, even though he is debilitated, he is retrograde. So basically there is Niti Bhanga. He gives results as though he is exalted. So there is a yoga between Sun and Mercury. And it is quite slow. It is basically within 6-7 degrees. So that is good. But that is happening in the 8th house. So Lagna Lord in the 8th house means again there can be some suffering. But it is much less than last year. If it is compared to the last year. So 2017 some suffering can start. In 2018 the suffering may lead into the occult knowledge. Basically he may get into more occult knowledge because Mercury is a planet of learning. And he is in the 8th house with Sun, with Lagna Lord. So there can be some occult learning, some interest in occult basically. And also Lagna has Moon. So 12th Lord Moon. And 12th house has Rahu. 12th house having Rahu, the two Cancer, a very fruitful sign that has Rahu. And its Lord, 12th Lord is in Lagna. So basically the person has a lot of interest in moksha during that time. So thinking about moksha, thinking about am I doing in this world? All those things will become prominent during that time. After some setbacks in 2020. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we get some
We'll see. We'll see the D20 and see the
all
result.
of a sudden becoming interested in
Yeah.
relational knowledge that affections?
Yeah. Yeah. But the Siddhi we saw it in the Narayan Dasha and we saw in the Siddhi chart. So we are talking about it. We will confirm it. We will go to Vishamsa also later.
In general, it's possible that we go towards
Yeah.
religious.
Usually, either religiousness or spirituality comes to you naturally, or you need a big shock, big blow, and then you start thinking to your mind. Until you start thinking, every human being thinks. Once you are born, you start crying, you slowly get attached to the thought that you are this body, and you have to take care of this body. You have to engage in various pleasures of this body. And slowly, over years, the thought becomes so strongly embedded in your mind that your mind forgets that there is something else to you. The mind completely associates your body with you. Think, I am this body. And as long as you think that you are the body, there is no chance of escape. You are basically stuck. You are basically bound. It really, really limits you. This association with the body really, really limits you. And then there can be so much misery based on the karma that you have, based on all the accumulated karmas from the previous life. Either you will suffer or you will exhaust all your good karma, as long as you think that you are the body. But once the mind stops thinking that it is body, which is possible only when body is really suffering. If the body is suffering, then you start thinking, is this really me or is there something else? Who am I? Once you start thinking, who am I? That's why I want to tell all of you. Start thinking, who am I? Those three words, who am I? They are very, very important words. Because you may think that you know the answer. You don't. You really don't. Unless you really know the answer to that question, you will keep coming back to the world. Your journey is actually not over. The goal of this journey is to find out who you are. So think, who am I? Am I this body? When I am thinking, when the mind is thinking, what is thinking? What is making it think? What is behind all this? Start thinking. And the thing is, there is no answer that I can write and give or say and you will understand. There's something that will come by yourself. You basically, when you experience the real you, then only you know, oh, actually there is something else to me apart from the body. Only experience can convince you. Until then, you can only think. Narasimha is saying, it's given in so and so book, so maybe there is something else to me. Maybe it's not just the body. Maybe body is a minuscule part of it. Maybe there is something much bigger. We will only speculate. But full belief will come only when we experience the real you. So keep thinking, who am I, who am I, who am I? And one day suddenly it will come like a flash. There is no progress meter in this matter. There is no meter in your brain that says 10% done, you are 15% done, you are 20% done. It just happens. When it happens, it just happens. Until then, it doesn't. You think that you are not making any progress. Suddenly you are done. So that is how these things are. So keep asking yourself, who am I? Now, coming back to this chart, how is the next year? 2019. Ninth and Lagna Lord have Parivartana. Good or bad? Good. Lagna Lord in ninth, ninth Lord in Lagna. Excellent. So we don't have to look at other things. Also Sun in the 10th house is good. Moon, second Lord in, Sun is Hora Lord. Hora Lord, Sun in the 10th house in a friendly house is good for career. Moon in the second house, in own house is excellent. Mars in the 11th house, own house is excellent. So this year looks like a good year. So 2017 feels like a bad year, materialistically. Bad year because we have to suffer and have some yoga bhanga. And next year basically a lot of introspection and finding the light within. Basically finding some direction. And 2019 again a year of material prosperity. Doing well. It is who? Yes, we mentioned it already. Yeah. That's true. Now, let us see. Actually, whatever we are saying doesn't make sense. Is this somebody who has a chance of being secure? Or absolutely no chance? So, to see that, you have to see what chart. See, like I said earlier, fifth lord in the 8th house can show some occult knowledge. Usually occult knowledge does not come to somebody who is not spiritually inclined. So maybe he will be secure. But you can confirm it only by looking at, and also see fifth house having so many planets. Fifth house is the house of sadhana, so upasana activity. So fifth house having so many planets, such as Jupiter, Rahu, etc., there is a good chance that he will be secure. But he is saying very confidently that he is not secure. He is totally not secure right now.
Okay. I mean, I don't know this person, but his mother.
Yeah. What did his mother tell you?
So he is not thinking about the skill. He is employed in the financial world.
Okay.
So right now he's told
To make more money.
the successful person. That's very good.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's what I have.
Okay. Now the thing is, let us take it for granted. He is not spiritual right now. But does he have the potential of being spiritual? Is it coming here? Is it in the office? To see that, you have to see Vinshamsa, T20. So, Vinshamsa, are we on a border? 1 minute 56 seconds, earlier and later it will change. So basically 2 minutes. So probably it is right, but we don't really know. So at least what we can do is, the forward error we can't correct. From 12 degree 45 minutes, it will go to 15 degrees. When it goes to 13.5 degrees, when the Lagna goes from 12:45 degrees to 13.5, the Vinshamsa Lagna will change to the next time. And when it goes back to 12 degrees, it will change to the previous one. The next time we cannot confirm, whether it is Sagittarius or Ketudan, we cannot confirm. But whether it is Sagittarius or Scorpio, we can confirm. How? Dashamsa, because if it goes back behind 12 degrees, not only the Vinshamsa Lagna, but also Dashamsa Lagna will change. So we can open the Dashamsa chart and make sure whether this Lagna is right or the previous should be right. Whether the Lagna is Leo or Leo as given here or Cancer. That much we can confirm, can't we? Because we know something about his career. He just now said. So what is his career? He is in the financial world. What does he do in the financial world? Because we don't really know much about his spiritual life. The little we know, we can use that to confirm. We'll do that. But what I'm saying is, we don't really have any defining events in the Vinshamsa. To fix Vinshamsa Lagna. But we have a defining event in Dashamsa, defining thing in Dashamsa. So we can at least say whether it is 9 degrees to 12 degrees or 12 degrees to 15 degrees. So that much you can decide. See what I'm saying? So that we will do. Now with the 12 degree 45 minutes which is given, the Lagna is Leo. If it goes back behind 12 degrees, the Lagna would be Cancer. Is Cancer Lagna more possible with the career that he mentioned or Leo? We will see that. So before we do that, let us more clearly find out what is his career. So what does he do in the financial world? Because financial world is too big. He can do all kinds of things.
Because all I know very little about it. He works for investment firm
This model, okay? He is a financial analyst. Okay?
That's all
Okay. So he is a financial analyst. Is it supposed to be an intelligent job or routine job? It's an intelligent job. Where there is subjective analysis.
Right. He has very well successful in his field and he's very regarded in the type of job.
Okay. So he is a successful financial analyst. Okay. Which planet will show that kind of career? Mercury and Jupiter. For financial analysis, Jupiter is an important planet. So those are the planets that will show it. And what is the career that you are getting with this chart? Mars in Lagna, Leo Lagna, very dominant, very aggressive, and Saturn leader, and Saturn in the 10th house. The 10th house is Saturn in the 10th house, and there is a parivartana between Venus and Saturn. There is a Parivartana between Venus and Sun. So what kind of work does it? Can you show financial analysis? Is the Saturn-Venus Parivartana showing financial analysis more? That too, retrograde Saturn. Is just showing it more, or if the Lagna goes to Cancer, then Mercury in Lagna and 10th Lord Mars in the second house and 10th house being aspected by Jupiter, the 9th Lord. Is just showing financial career more. What is showing financial career more? You also want to see the Dasha and see, because he is doing so well right now. You want to conclude based on the Dasha also. What is the Dasha he is running right now? 2000 to 2009 he is running Venus Dasha. So during when did he start his career? Probably 20 years ago. Probably Venus Dasha. So Venus Dasha, does he work for somebody or independent consultant? He works for a company. Yes. Okay. So Venus Dasha gave his career. Do you want to see Narayan Dasha of Dashamsha? The T10 Narayan Dasha. So, forgetting the Visaptrism Dasha, because even though that is the right Dasha, that may or may not be giving perfect results. So, instead of deciding whether to use Vinchotri and Visaptrism Dasha, let's just look at Narayan Dasha. It will be very straightforward. In the Narayan Dasha, his career probably started after 21 years of age. Whether it started or not, the success probably started in the Virgo and Libra Dasha. Right? Virgo Dasha was from 2001 to 2003 and Libra is running from 2003 to 2006. It is about to end. So, Virgo and Libra gave him success. Okay? And probably Libra because in Virgo he just started, probably had a head start, but still being recognized in his growing all probably came in the Libra Dasha in the last couple of years. So given that, does this Lagna, your Lagna make sense or should it be transferred? See, if you Jupiter is with AL, but the thing is, Jupiter is the 5th Lord and 8th Lord in Manakarka. Would that Jupiter show? And Libra's Lord is also in Manakarka. So Libra is associated with 2 planets in Manakarka. Does success in such a period make sense? Is it possible? Yeah. Okay. But does success make sense? Venus Dasha showing career is fine. Does success make sense in Libra Dasha? How about Virgo Dasha? Is Virgo Dasha good? 2001 to 2003. Is that good based on this Lagna? Rahu is the 7th Lord in 2nd house. Is that a good placement for Rahu or bad? It's not such a good placement. Pardon me? It's not such a great placement for Rahu. Now, if Cancer is the Lagna, Rahu is the 8th Lord in 3rd house. Good or bad? Excellent. It's Upit Rajoga, and moreover, for Rahu, 3rd house is a very good house, and he is in Mola Trikona there. So, being in the 3rd house, Rahu likes 3, 6 and 11. These are the 3 houses he likes. All other houses he doesn't like. No other house. Pardon me? It is a good house. But if a bad person is in the good house, what is the point? House is an important house. It's an important house because it shows your resources. But if Saturn or Rahu occupy that house, it's not good. Basically, in other words, you may have, let's say, you have 12 houses. One of the houses may be your favorite house. You may like that house a lot. It may be an important house close to your heart. But what if you rented it to somebody, some idiot, and they are not taking good care of that house? That house is spoiled. Even if you like that house, that is spoiled. Similarly, even though 2nd house is an important house, the planet who doesn't like being in that house is in that house. He will not take good care of that house. Okay? But if he was in some kind of consultancy, maybe there could be some gain because Rahu is the 7th Lord in the 2nd house of money. There could be some gain through consultancy, etc. But here he is in service, and Rahu is the 7th Lord. He shows end of service, and he is in a house that he doesn't like. So during the Virgo Dasha, And also, where is Virgo Lord? Mercury, 12th house of losses. So, if Leo is the Lagna in Virgo, getting good break in career, rising well in the career, doesn't really make a lot of sense. Whereas, let us move the Lagna. Move the Lagna to the previous time, Cancer. So, we change the time from 6:45 to 6:43, some fraction, 3.5321545 seconds. Software gave that. Let's change it to 0. So that it's clean. So 6 hours 43 minutes. That's the time we change it to. Now the Lagna in the Dashamsha chart has changed to Cancer. Now Rahu shows excellent results. And Mercury, he owns the 3rd house, Virgo, and he is in Lagna. So an Priya Lord going into Lagna. Again, that is not at all bad. So during the Virgo Dasha, having a rise in career is not at all unlikely. Moreover, now look at Rahu. Not only is he in the 3rd house from Lagna, which is an excellent placement, but look at Arudha Lagna, AL. Arudha Lagna is your status and image. From that Arudha Lagna, Rahu is where is he? In the 7th house. 7th house from Arudha Lagna, is it good or bad for Rahu? If you remember, it's a Rajayoga. 12th and 7th houses from Arudha Lagna are a Rajayoga for Rahu and Saturn. So Rahu is very well placed from Arudha Lagna. So during the Virgo Dasha, there was rise in career. And how is Libra? How is Libra then? If Saturn or Rahu are in 7th or 12th from Arudha Lagna, they give Rajayoga. That is what Parasar says. They will give excellent material prosperity. Just material. The material Rajayoga. Basically, is the house of desire. And Rahu is there, he is the Karka for desire. If he is in the house of desire, he will give you all kinds of stuff. So, Libra, how is Libra Dasha that ran in the last 3 years? Is it a good Dasha or bad Dasha? Libra has Jupiter. It is the 4th house. It has year 2, basically accumulating wealth. Year 2 shows all the accumulated wealth. And it has Jupiter in it. He is the 9th Lord and he is aspecting the 10th house. 9th Lord aspecting 10th house will give some kind of independence in career. 9th Lord being in the 10th house or aspecting 10th house means some independence. You may have a boss, but you will be kind of like your own boss. So basically, people listen to you, people respect you, and your views will matter. That's what 9th Lord association in the 10th house means. So that association is being triggered in this Dasha. So my guess is after 2003, he would have gotten more independence and more respect in this work. People would have taken it more seriously than in the previous time. He would have established himself as a learned and intelligent person during that time. And Jupiter is in that time. What kind of results will Jupiter give? Analysis, analyzing things, giving sage guidance, sage advice. So he must have given some good advice after this Dasha came. And moreover, how is the Lord of the... And by the way, from Arudha Lagna is Jupiter well placed. From Lagna, he is in the 4th house. Good placement for a benefic planet. From Arudha Lagna, is he well placed? 8th house. Good or bad? Who said that? For benefic, 8th from Arudha Lagna is good. For malefic, 8th from Arudha Lagna is bad. From Arudha Lagna, when you see, benefits in the Arudha Lagna from 8th shows sudden rise, unexpected rise. Whereas malefics will show sudden fall, unexpected fall. So Jupiter is well placed from Arudha Lagna. How is the Lord of Libra? How is the Lord of Libra? Venus. It is in Parivartana, but not associated with this house. So as far as this house is concerned, let us take him in Libra, let us take him in Capricorn. Is he well placed from Capricorn? Is he well placed in Capricorn from Lagna and from Arudha Lagna? From Lagna, he is in the 7th house. Good or bad? Not really good for Venus. In general, for benefic, 7th house is good house. But for Venus, being in the 7th house means too much desire, too much insatiable desire. Venus in the 7th will give you too much desire. Venus is the Karaka for desire. And if he is in the house of desire, he will give too much desire. That kind of desire cannot be satisfied. So basically too much drive, wants too much in the career, and you may not get all that. So yeah, basically that boils down to disappointment, unnecessary disappointment, because you want so much, you are disappointed. Otherwise, you have no reason to be disappointed. You have every reason to be happy, but still you are unhappy. That is what Venus in the 7th house shows. So Venus is in the 7th house. It's not that great, but it's okay. It only shows somebody who is very materialistic and very driven. But from Arudha Lagna, how is Venus? That is the reality. We are looking from Lagna, but from Arudha Lagna, he is in the 11th house. So to the world, he seems like somebody who had all his desires fulfilled. Because Venus is in the 11th house from Arudha Lagna, the house of fulfillment of desires. And Arudha Lagna is how you appear to the world. So to the world, he appears as though he has everything that somebody may want. The world will look at him as a very successful person who has a lot of gain. But he himself may think, I wish I had that, I wish I had this, like that. So that is what Venus shows. But overall, this Dasha is looking good. So probably the Dashamsa Lagna is Cancer and not Leo. Now, yes. Yeah. Moon is in the 9th house from Arudha Lagna. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not unstable, but something is more worried about.
That is possible because Saturn is affecting Moon. Saturn is affecting Moon. Moon shows mind. Moon in Dashamsa shows mind as far as professional matters are concerned. That Moon is in Aries, Scorpio, Martian sign. So there is a lot of dynamism. But Saturn is affecting it. So there is some unhappiness also. So he will not be fully happy. So that will be there.
So that is because of the high expectations.
Probably, yes. Probably. Yes. Lagna Lord is debilitated means the person's intelligence. In Dashamsa, debilitated planets will show practical approach. And exalted planets will show idealistic approach in the Dashamsa. So, in this particular chart, because the Lagna Lord is debilitated, his ideology basically will be a little weak. If Lagna Lord is exalted, the person will be very idealistic. So for him, what matters is practical things on the ground matters. He doesn't basically strive for some great ideas. If this works, if this gets him more money, if this gets him to finish what he needs to finish, he will just do. That kind of person will be very practical and practical. Not highly principled. Not so principled. Yeah. I have never thought in that direction. That's a valid way to look at it. Try a few shots. If the planet associated with the third from Arudha Lagna, if they are not the end of the field, there is a change.
And that's why you mean the story out of it not using that.
Because in the Rashi chart, third from Arudha Lagna basically shows the final passing away. So his question is in the Dashamsa, can it show the final passing away of your career? Maybe I have never looked at it like this. What works in this case? Okay. Now, this fixed the Vinshansha Lagna. Because we went behind 12 degrees, now we have a big leeway in Vinshansha. 4 seconds later it will change, and we change it intentionally. So we know that it's not 4 seconds later, because if it is, then his career doesn't make sense. So this we don't have to worry about. And this 3 minutes 45 seconds earlier, that's it. That seems like a large time. So we take the chance. Still it is possible. Somebody may have made a mistake of 4 minutes. We don't know for a fact. But we'll take that chance because we can't keep refining without any input from it. So we have to basically, sometimes you do as much as you can do scientifically, and then you just leave it to chance and then believe your intuition. So let's leave it to our intuition and believe that this is right. And now let us see. The Vinshansha Lagna that has been rectified is in Scorpio. Now, is there a chance of materialistic spirituality? How is this person as far as spirituality is concerned? Let us look at the Narayan Dasha, because that is the best Dasha. The person right now is running Aries Dasha. Does it show spirituality? Who shows spirituality in this chart? Does any planet show spirituality? Does any planet show spirituality in this chart? Ketu, what about him? Yeah. Yeah. Are there any yogas in D20? Are there any yogas? Are there any yogas in? 5th and 10th Lord are together. 5th Lord Jupiter and 10th Lord Sun are together in the 7th house of desire. So what kind of result would it give in Shastra? 5th and 10th Lord being together, what kind of result does it in general give? Forget Vinchanta. In any chart, 5th and 10th Lord being together, what is the result? 5th house is the house of following and fame and the recognition for your abilities. And 10th house is the house of the work that you do. So if there is an association between those two planets, what would it mean? You will do some good work and you will be famous, recognized for it. Okay? And especially yogas in the 7th house have a good chance of success because they show desire. There is a desire to basically fulfill that yoga. So yogas in the 7th house have a very good chance of actually happening, actually giving their yoga. And here in Vinshamsha, what would it show? Some spiritual work. Not just his own spirituality and doing sadhana, but some work in the society, spiritual or religious work for other people in the society. That is, and being recognized for it. That is a possibility. The thing is, the right dasha has to come. But definitely that is a possibility. And moon is in the 8th house, good or bad? Actually, what house will show religiousness of a person? What is the house of religiousness? 9th house is the house of religiousness, dharma. Okay? Organized religion, doing puja, all it is 9th house. How is the 9th house? Is it good or bad? 9th Lord moon is in the 8th house. Does it show a lot of religiousness or loss of it? Lack of religion. 9th Lord in 8th house is not good, especially for moon. Why? Manakaraka sthana. 9th Lord is in Manakaraka sthana. That itself is enough to spoil religiousness. 9th Lord in 8th house itself is enough to spoil religiousness. Here, both are together, both are factors. So, that moon is actually not showing a religious person. As far as that moon is concerned, there is no chance of being a religious person, as long as moon is given this. Okay? But who is showing religiousness? Is religiousness being shown here? Is any planet showing religiousness? Saturn in the 9th house can show some religiousness. But moon, the 9th Lord, is not showing it. Okay? But the yoga between Jupiter and Sun means there is some spiritual karma that he will do. They are with A9, the manifestation of the karma. So the 10th Lord and 6th Lord are together in A9, in the 7th house of desire. So there is some strong desire inside which will come out and he will do he will follow his dharma, something in the society in a very tangible way, very visible way he will do, which will make him famous. When the right dasha comes. Now, what is the dasha he is running now? It's an annoyance. Not auspicious, but it's fine. Because Jupiter and Sun can definitely take care of one. So Aries dasha is running right now. Is Aries good? Aries, it is the 6th house. Its Lord is Mars. He is exalted but retrograde. Is it showing religiousness or some spiritual sadhana? Not much. It has nothing to do with 8th house, 12th house, 9th house, etc. Moksha Trikonas, it has nothing to do with. Dhamma Trikonas, it has nothing to do with. So, there isn't much. A8 is there. What does A8 show in Shastra? A8 means Gurukrpa. That's what does it show in Shastra? Does it show death of spirituality? It can show no spirituality. It can also show high experiences. A8, Gurukrpa can also show some high spiritual experiences. But that is possible if the 8th house is strong in the chart. If the 8th house is dominant in the chart, if the 8th house is giving this result, then A8 will actually make them appear, make them manifest. But if the 8th house is weak, what will A8 show? So, during this dasha, see, the thing is, every arudha, every house has two sides to it, one positive, one negative. You have to pick the one based on the results of the house. If the 8th house is showing disappointment, if the 8th Lord, if you look at the placement of the 8th Lord in the chart and you conclude that this is a person who is very unhappy always, very anxious, A8 will show manifestation of the anxiety. If you look at the 8th house and conclude he is a great tapasvi, the A8 will show manifestation of the tapasya. Okay? So here 8th house does not really show somebody who is doing a lot of spiritual sadhana. So A8 will not really show anything experience. It only shows lack of religion. So right now he is not religious. How about Scorpio Dasha, 2007 to 10? Can he be spiritual then? Is the Lagna. Is the Lagna. It has 7th Lord and 8th Lord in it. Can it show a new beginning? And this Lord is in Scorpio. It's affected by Saturn. There is some chance in 2007, 2010 becoming a little spiritual is a possibility. Because it's not anything, it is Lagna. And itself is enough to basically start the spark. So some spark may be started in 2007 to 10, but it may not really take off. And Jaimini Dasha, how is Jaimini Dasha? Yeah. 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 So Lagna Lord being in the 3rd house, he will show growth of spirituality. Yeah. 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 Yes, it will definitely start the spark. He will take some interest in spirituality during 2007 to 10. He will not be like now. After next year, within the next 3 years, some interest will start. He will start talking to people, know a little bit. So that will start. The thing is, even though Mars is exalted, he is also retrograde. So he gives results as though he is debilitated. So Lagna Lord in the 3rd house is good, but debilitated is not so great. So overall, and also the thing is, 7th and 8th Lords are together in Lagna. 7th and 8th Lord being together means death. So they are in Lagna. So that shows normally death. So again, that is basically stopping the spirituality from taking off. So there is a positive and there is a negative. It is Lagna, if Lord is in 3rd house, positive. Negative is a Marka combination. So overall, balancing both the factors, you can conclude that there will be some kindling of the spark of spirituality within him. But it will be stunted. The growth will be highly stunted, in my view. And Jaimini Dasha, it's a mixed Dasha. Jaimini is the 8th house. 8th house normally shows a lot of sadhana. But 8th house has moon in it, in Manakarka Sthana, the 9th Lord. And also 8th Lord is in Lagna. So maybe there will be some sadhana during that time. But it doesn't look like a great period. How is Capricorn? How is the Capricorn Dasha, 2016 to 21? First of all, it is the 3rd house of initiative, drive. It has Mars, the Lagna Lord, the intelligence applied. And where is the Lord of it? He is in the 9th house. The Lord of it, Saturn, is in the 9th house. He is, aspective, okay, but he is in the 9th house of religiousness, of dharma. So he will follow some dharma. A5, he is in A5. A5 means mantrapada, doing some mantra. A6, doing some sadhana, doing some struggle. So all those things are being activated. Moreover, the Rajyoga, Jupiter and Sun. Pardon? Who is lording? He is not lording, he is occupied. Associated. Dhimanta Yoga, at a manifestation level, in spiritual matters. In spiritual matters, basically intelligence being applied in stars. And the yoga between Jupiter and Sun is being aspected by Capricorn. The previous dashas, Aquarius, Virgo, Aries, Scorpio, Gemini, none of them aspect this yoga. Jupiter and Sun are not being aspected by any sign. The first sign that is aspecting them is Capricorn. Of course, the full result may come only in Taurus dasha of that yoga. That is long away, 55 years of age, after he retired. But it's at least being aspected by Capricorn dasha. So because of that aspect, at least it will start that yoga to some work in the society. So all the ways, ninth house association is there, EFI association is there, Lagna Lord Master association is there. It shows initiative, and then the Raj Yoga is being activated. So this should be the turning point. Until then, maybe a little bit on and off, but nothing that you will see when you see it. You will not basically still be able to tell if you have some interest in spirituality until 2015. From 2015 to 2021 is when the spark will develop into a small fire, and then actually we will start with doing some sadhana. At least it's not sadhana. Basically, this is not a thought of lot of sadhana. This is a thought of work. More than his own growth, spiritual growth, which is shown by the 8th house, etc. Those houses are not really strong. What you see in this chart is somebody who will do good work for other people, like make lot of money and use that money for some spiritual cause, give it to a spiritual organization, church or a temple. So it is that kind of chart. So that kind of work, and then while you are doing it, you also get interested a little bit and you know a little bit. If a bag contains sandalwood powder, when you remove the sandalwood powder, the bag, healthy sandalwood powder will stick to the bag. Bag will have that smell. Like that, he will be. He will be associated with some spiritual people and help them in their work. And as a result, he will pick up some spirituality, some occult knowledge during that particular period, 2015 to 20. And during, based on the Narayana Dasha of Rashi chart also, I think it was around that time that we found to be interesting. 17, 18, 19, that period. So it's basically coming to the same period. So probably after 2015 he will become spiritual, but there is some chance of spirituality. But with this yoga, this is the kind of person who has to be materialistic, make lot of money, because it will be useful life. Because if you become fully spiritual and decide, who needs money? You don't need money, and then go to a cave and start doing japa, he won't do the karma that he has to do. The yoga between Sun and Jupiter, that yoga will not give it because he has that yoga, he is being wounded in a particular way. So what is good for goose is not good for gander. So similarly, what is your destiny is not my destiny. What is my destiny is not your destiny. So everybody has their own path, and based on that path, when the right time comes, you will get the right skill, right desire, you will do the right thing, and you will progress in a particular predetermined path. Okay. Now that we have done what we wanted to do, we will do what you wanted to do. So what did you have in mind?
No, the product is
yeah. So we kind of covered it, and more than the Rashi chart. See, the thing is, all the 8 planets or 9 planets may be together in the Rashi chart, but they are not likely to be together in all the divisional charts. So as you look at each divisional chart, each becomes part here. But the exchange of results, just use the normal thing. Oh, is it? You want to see that?
How do you see that? And also his mother he was worried about that he can be the very serious. But he saw that on spirit.
Yeah.
That's the reason his mother is now away from US.
Yeah. Is he interested in going away from US? Why is his mother worried about it?
I don't know the background for it.
Yeah. But she is worried.
She's worried that it's going to Europe.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a mention to her.
But as we saw in the chart, there is a chance.
Right.
So there is a chance. Long later, actually, probably only in that period, not until. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay, so what is the Narayan Dasha is running until 2014? Cancer. Is there a chance of settling abroad in the Cancer Dasha? Let us look at the Dasha Pravesh Chakra. Are there any chances? The Lagna Lord Saturn is in the 4th house. 9th house is empty. 9th Lord is in Lagna. That's the only thing about it. But overall, there isn't any strong combination that shows you that he may. So probably he will continue to be for me? Yeah, 12th Lord in the 4th. But he is also Lagna Lord. So let us take it easy. 2 Lagna Lords are there. So let's take it easy. But one thing, when you see this Dashansha, one thing really strikes out. Are there any good combinations here? Who are in Lagna? Moon and Venus are in Lagna. That's a great yoga. Moon and Venus in Lagna is a great yoga. It's actually a Dhana yoga. Moon and Venus combination will show resourcefulness, abundance. And if it happens in Lagna or 2nd house or an Uttaya, it shows a lot of abundance of life. So here you see that in this particular Dasha Pravesh Chakra, Dasha is running right now. Moon and Venus are in Lagna. And Mercury is in the 2nd house. Mercury and Sun are in the 2nd house. Again, it's a very good placement for them. So, pardon me? The 4th house is strong, but 4th house has Shani and Rahu. Even though they are Lagna Lords, they are Shani and Rahu. When they are in the 4th house, will there be happiness and comfort? No. Looking at this Dasha Pravesha, you can say that in this Dasha, he will make a lot of money. He will be very successful, extremely successful, but he will not be happy. Of course, the 4th Lord, Venus is in Lagna with Moon. There will be some happiness, but still, Saturn and Rahu in the 4th house will always decrease the 4th house. They will not give full happiness. They will be unhappy about something and other. There will be, the contentment will not be there, satisfaction. So that is one thing that you can confidently say. Other thing is, you will make a lot of. Really? Yeah. There is a Parivartana between Saturn and Rahu. Yes, that's a good point. Yes. There is a Parivartana between Saturn and Rahu. So, it's very interesting. So, even after the Parivartana gives its result, Saturn and Rahu will start affecting Moon in life. So, there will be some unhappiness for him on Rahu. During the 11 years, he will be very successful but very unhappy. We also saw Now, marriage, let us see. So, how do you see whether the person will marry a foreigner? How do you see that? How do you see the marriage? First, let us see. Forget Navamsa. We'll see Navamsa later. First, see the Upada. Okay? Upada will show marriages. Now, here the tricky thing is, even if somebody did not formally get married, if he or she had an intention of marrying someone and stayed with that person for a while, like there was a serious relationship for several months, that counts as a marriage, as far as the chart is concerned. So, do you have any serious relationships on you that could not be converted marriage? Right now, but before that, was there any relationship that broke? Okay. Right now is not helpful. We need the history to correctly see it. Because why I am asking is, you see the Upada, it's in Capricorn. Capricorn is a very dry sign, it's not a fruitful sign. It gives its results with a lot of difficulty. If Upada is in Capricorn, marriage may come with some difficulty. But it depends on the strength of the second lord. Upada shows marriage, a particular relationship. And the second summit shows who is bringing that marriage. So, if Upada is in a dry sign, not so fruitful sign, the second lord should be very strong. The second house should be very strong from Upada. And if you look at the second lord from it, Saturn and Rahu, they are basically in the 8th house from Upada. The second lord who is supposed to bring the marriage is in the 8th house of breaking the marriage. And they are restricted. Of course, you may say that Moon and Jupiter are restricted by Saturn and Rahu. But for Saturn and Rahu also being with all the divine gang, Mars, Moon, Jupiter, that's like an restriction to Saturn and Rahu. So they are in Leo, inimical sign. So they are in inimical sign, afflicted by planets they don't like, and they are in the 8th house from Upada. So when the second lord is not so strong from Upada, that marriage may not even come. Of course, if I see this chart in an Indian chart, like somebody born in India, because you have to also take into account Desikala Patras when you use the Arudha. So even if there is a difficulty in bringing that marriage, still parents have got the person somehow married. So probably marriage happens. But if you see such a combination in a chart here in US, there is every chance that there was a serious relationship, but somehow it could not be converted to a marriage. So basically that Upada is vested. Vested meaning it's over. So to see the next marriage, the next serious relationship, you have to go to the 8th house from that Upada. So if you take the 8th house from Capricorn, that is Leo. So taking Leo as Lagna, then you can make predictions about the next marriage. So this is why I am asking, find out, because to say something about the marriage, the history is very important. You don't ask always, did you have a serious relationship, but if you suspect, in this case, there is a reason to suspect that there was a serious relationship that could not be converted to marriage. There is some reasonable chance. You can't be sure, but there is a reasonable chance. So it is a good idea to ask the mother, hopefully she knows. It is a good idea to ask the mother or the person if you have access to him and find out whether there is a serious relationship for several months that somehow did not get to be click. Very important. See, if you are not confident, if you have a doubt that something is fishy, it's better not to give a prediction. It's a bad suggestion because it may have already broken. So you should not waste our speed and when you are not sure of the fact. So you should find out. And I'll just tell you how to see it actually. So the first, assuming that there was a previous relationship, that would be shown by Capricorn. The 8th from there, Leo, that would show the second one. Assuming that he is in the second relationship now, you see it from Leo. And all these planets, Rahu is there, it can be a foreigner. So like that you see. And if this also breaks, it is basically the next time. But this has a good chance of happening because the lord of the second house from it, Mercury, is in the 7th house, in a friendly house. Mercury is in a friendly house with a friend Ketu. Even though Equity Hall is a foreigner. Pardon me? Pardon me? He is involved in foreign. How to see that? The way I see it, Rahu and Ketu are foreigners. The way I see it, the association of Rahu and Ketu with either the Upada or the second lord from Upada. The source basically association with a foreigner, relationship with a foreigner. My guess is more than the first relationship. The second relationship is likely to be with a foreigner. So probably if he is in a relationship with a foreigner, my guess is there was a serious relationship before. So try to find out if that is the case. Even with Upada, first Upada, the second lord Saturn is with Rahu. So there is a chance of being associated with a foreigner. But somehow my feeling is this is the second one. So that is why I want to do that. Now, how do you see the person in Upada, in Navamsa? From Rashi and Upada, you can see how he views the marriage from what kind of person the person is, what kind of background the relationship belongs to. So all that you can conclude. But to say something more specific about the person, about the spouse, or the person with whom you had a relationship, you look at the Navamsa. What kind of career, what kind of person, income, all these things you see from the Navamsa. So here, the 7th house is Capricorn. That shows the first girl in his life. And the 8th from there, which is Leo. That shows the second girl in his life. So when you know which one you are talking about, first or second or third, when you get the correct count, find the 7th house or 8th from that or 8th from that or 8th from that and so on, and then take that as Lagna and then analyze the chart, and then you can conclude, you can draw conclusion about what kind of variation you have, what kind of background you have, whether she is happy with parental happiness or whether she lacks parental happiness. All these conclusions you can draw. But first find out and then do that. Any questions? Yeah. 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 See, when you say foreign, don't think in terms of just country. Even within India, somebody who is born and brought up in Tamil Nadu, for that person, a Punjabi, if he marries a Punjabi girl, it's a foreigner. So once again, now it all depends on how this guy was brought up. Basically, foreigner, Rahu and Ketu don't necessarily show somebody from across a line, imaginary line that is drawn. What Rahu and Ketu show is somebody who's from a culture that is different from your culture. So, I may be, my son, let's say, may be born and brought up in India as an Indian kid, born and brought up in US as an Indian kid, suppose, with Indian culture, Indian tradition, etc. For him, even if he marries the girl next door, who's basically brought up in, let's say, a Catholic tradition, Catholic culture, he's basically marrying a foreigner. Similarly, let's say my son is brought up in US as an Indian American, basically mix both the cultures, Indian culture and American culture. He gets both the cultures. Then if he marries an American, let's say from Florida, with a similar culture, it may not be marrying a foreigner. If he marries somebody from India, who came from India to US, again it may not be marrying a foreigner because still the culture is very similar. So it really depends on what you are used to, what lifestyle, what culture, what traditions you follow. And then there should be a drastic difference. Then it's a foreigner. So for an American, some Europeans may be counted as a foreigner, but some may not really count as foreigners. Breaking barriers. Breaking some imaginary barriers that people usually use. If you are a Catholic person, usually you may marry a Catholic. Of course, if Rahu, because these days Rahu and Ketu dominate, people don't look at those things. But in the old days, it used to be like that. If you are a Catholic, you marry a Catholic. If you are an Indian, you marry an Indian. If you are a Native Indian, maybe you marry a Native Indian. That used to be the old way. So if it is that way, you basically marry within the culture that you understand and feel every day. Then it is not Rahu Ketu. But if you marry, if you go out of those barriers, breaking the barriers is Rahu Ketu. Foreigner, all this is basically our way of expressing. The real thing is not foreigner. It's breaking some kind of barrier. That is Rahu. Any other question? It may be from a foreign country, but you will be basically following your tradition. That is all you can say. Yeah. Love marriage again has nothing to do with breaking barriers. Love marriage is different and breaking barriers is different. Venus association will show love. A7, Venus, 6th house, UL, links between these. That will show love marriage. Venus in the Lagna, Venus in the 6th house, Venus in A7, A7 in 6th house, Moon or Venus in A7, all these will show love marriage. Any other questions? For me? Yeah. Which love? You can see in both, but mostly in the Rashi chart. Any other questions? because we saw his chart, let us just see how is this year for him. His birthday is coming up soon. On April 10th, his birthday. He was born on Chaitra Shukla Trayodasi. Yeah, not Christian. Solar. Gregorian birthday. Not really everybody follows the calendar. Gregorian birthday. So his Gregorian birthday is in a couple of days, and his Tithi Pravesha, his lunar birthday is on April 10th. So how is this year for him? Very quick prediction. Who is the Hora Lord? Sun. Hora Lord is Sun. Okay. He is the third Lord in the 10th house with Rahu. Sun is at 27 degrees, Rahu is 9 degrees, far apart. So not such a big problem. Now, for me, 9th and 3rd Lord. Yeah. So Sun is okay. He is in the 10th house. Placement of Sun in the 10th house is always good for career. And he is the 3rd Lord, showing initiative. So having more initiative at the workplace and then doing the work well, getting some new responsibilities, etc. So that's not at all bad. How is Lagna and Lagna Lord? Because those are also as important as Hora. 11th Lord in Lagna, is it good for Lagna? Mars in Lagna can make the person unstable and bored. But it is good materialistically because the person will be very bored. But if you are bored, it comes with the risk of losing your temper, etc. So you will be more aggressive during this year, very prone to anger. And how is Lagna? Stubborn. Especially this year he will be more stubborn. Lagna Lord is in the 9th house. Good or bad? Excellent. Who is he with? He is with 6th Lord. Lagna Lord and 6th Lord together, that too in the 9th house. Good or bad? Shi Lagna, Ghatika Lagna are there. How close are they? 29 degrees, 10 degrees. Not too close, so not great. Oh my God. Not only Lagna Lord and 6th Lord. See what Karakas they are? Atma Karaka and Putra Karaka. I told you earlier, Atma Karaka, Putra Karaka being together in the yoga. So there are two Raj Yogas being given by Venus and Mercury. Lagna Lord and 6th Lord, as that Atma Karaka, Putra Karaka. And they are in the 9th house of Sashi. And Ghatika Lagna, Shi Lagna. Ghatika Lagna shows same command that you, the command that you have over other people. That is what Ghatika Lagna shows. Shi Lagna shows blessings of Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. So, and also 10th Lord Jupiter is in the 5th house of success. And Venus and Mercury are in the 5th from Arohi Lagna. If you look from Arohi Lagna, they are in the 5th house. So all the way, brilliant. Excellent time. So for me, it looks like a great year. I don't know best or not, but it's definitely a great year materialistically. He will be very successful during this year. And how is the Dashamsha? In the Dashamsha chart, Mercury is in the 2nd house, good for resourcefulness. Venus and Jupiter are in the 8th house, to benefit 8th Lord and 6th Lord in 8th house. Good or bad? 6th Lord Jupiter and 8th Lord Venus together in the 8th house. Vikrita Rajoga, sudden growth at the cost of somebody else, unfortunately. Mars and Sun in the 10th house. 11th Lord Mars and 11th Lord Sun and 7th Lord and 2nd Lord Mars are in the 10th house. Though Mars is not that great there, Sun is excellent in the 10th house. Being the 11th Lord in the 10th house, he will bring gains in career. So overall, looking at Dashansha, Rashi, etc., this looks like a very good year for him. No, as for when Mars gets his turn, he will give results of being beneficial. Of course, they will extend their result, but Mars is not so excellent. So, as far as Mars is concerned, there is some negativity there. So, basically, losing out because of anger, having to suppress his anger, having to suppress his drive because time is not favorable. Such things are definitely positive. But at the same time, Sun is there, so he will take care of it. So it will be a minor irritation, not a big point. But overall, looking at the Rasi and Dashansha, this is a very good year for him.
So the minister of they are
But that will be every year. That is basically because it is born on Karmanga. He was looking at this Karmangala. Each Tithi is nodded by one of the Nityas. There are different forms of Devi. These are the forms. Nityas are the forms. These are the control Tithi. You don't get it. Okay. So, any other comments?
So his best years previously.
So he said best year. Years of for me, yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
That time comes all this.
The Lord of Horapanya is the Lord of Hora, the more important year. Look, it is good. But it doesn't always happen. If you look at your own chart and see the Hora Lord every year, it changes. It has absolutely no mathematical reason for being the same. Especially based on probability, it has to be absolutely random. There is no pattern here. If you look at Tithi, it will be the same. If you look at Vara, maybe there is a pattern. There can be a pattern because it comes every 10. There is a 10-month 10-day progression to a lunar system. So the Vara, there may be a pattern. But Vara, there is absolutely no reason for a pattern. It has to be random. So for him, it so happens that it is fun. So this year is a great year for him. Let him enjoy. Tell his mother that don't worry about anything. He will have a great time during this year. As a matter of fact, if you see the Navamsha, what do you see about Navamsha? Yeah. The 7th Lord Sun is in Lagna and he is the Hora Lord. He is the Hora Lord. So there is a chance of marriage in this year. In the coming year, there is a chance of getting married or being in a serious relationship. So it is a good year. So tell him good luck. Tell his mother not to worry about him. She can worry about him later after several years. But for now he will do well. Especially this year will be a great year. Okay? And also if she is religiously inclined, if the mother is a religious person and she is worried that her son is not religious, tell her that he will do great work later. Tell her she doesn't have to worry. Actually, what can you say about his mother from his heart? Can you say something about mother? Let us forget all the fun, all the maya, everything. Let's just go to the core. Let's just use the fourth house. So take the fourth house for mother. Nine. So mom is fourth house. So in the Dvadashamsha, D12 is the chart where you see mom and dad. So in this chart, you see the fourth house. Fourth house is Scorpio. Take Scorpio as Lagna. What do you see about mother? What kind of a person is she? Jupiter in Lagna, Scorpio. Is she intelligent and religious, God-fearing? Jupiter in Lagna can make somebody an intelligent person, a traditional person, somebody who respects tradition, a religious person. 9th house has Saturn in it. 9th Lord Moon is in a friendly house, Jupiter's house. So we should be religious. Quite possibly, yeah. And sixth house is, yeah, the upasana you do is sixth house. Venus and Ketu are there. So almost 2 planets will be Tapas Yoga. Fifth Lord is in Lagna, so she is very devotional, very devoted, lot of devotion in her. And what else can you say about her? Is she a little stubborn? Can she be a little stubborn? Even though Jupiter is in Lagna, it is Scorpio. Can she be a little stubborn? There is definitely some determination, some strong determination in her. And how is her speech? Is she soft spoken or harsh spoken? What is her speech? What can you say? Second house. Second house is speech. Second house is moon in it, and moon is basically in Jupiter's house. Is she, does it show soft speech or harsh and angry speech? Very soft, motherly, caring with him. Yeah. Nice basically, soft spoken. Basically, moon is also cultured. Moon and Venus will show, in the second house will show cultured speech. So when she speaks, basically, very pick the right word. Some people don't pick the right word. Some people, they want to say something, they end up saying something else. But with moon and Venus, it will be very well organized. So very well organized, very nicely spoken, very soft spoken, nice lady. Very, how is the actual person? That is mother. How is the person speak? You don't speak. Is he soft spoken or harsh or what kind of? Why not? To mother. To mother you are seeing. To parents, not mother. To parents actually, when he is dealing with parents, he may be quite harsh. Mars and Rahu are in the second house of peace. So the way he speaks to mother and father may be actually very harsh. Not in front of you. In front of you. Yeah, okay, that's good. But the thing is, he may be actually speaking harsh to his mother. But forget mother, to mother and father. In general, how is his speech? He's a Rashi. Second house has no planets in it. Second lord is Venus in Lagna. What kind of speech will Venus do? Again, very argument, like moon. But the thing is, in moon there is no cunningness. Very straightforward. Very speaking from the heart. That is his mother. She speaks from the heart, but argues very well what she wants to say. And very nicely says. What about him? He also says very nicely whatever he wants to say. But there is a lot of thinking. Venus is basically manipulative. So he knows. It's basically goal-driven speech. Goal-driven nice speech. He knows what he wants and he decides how to say it. He says it nicely. That is the difference between mother and son. But he is also nice, well-spoken. He is not one of those kinds who are angry and very shouted people are very harsh spoken. He is not harsh. He is very soft. Both mother and the person are very soft. Okay, so not mother's Jupiter. In this chart, in the Rajasthan, Jupiter is in Scorpio. In mother's life. Yeah. Rahu can definitely show stubbornness. But Lagna being Scorpio itself, and Scorpio Lord Mars is with Rahu, that itself can show some rigidity, but at the same time Jupiter will take care of it. So it will not really be a big problem. But there can be some stubbornness at some point. It will be stubbornness, not like angry, not like Aries will show angry, fiery kind of determination. Scorpio will show watery, ice-cool determination. Actually, you want something, you make sure that you get it. That is the nature of Scorpio. But Jupiter modifies it. Jupiter is in that house. Jupiter shows extreme flexibility. Jupiter is Akasha. Can fit anywhere. Can fit in water, can fit in earth, can fit in air, can fit anywhere. That is Jupiter. So that shows extreme flexibility. Yes. His father will be more stubborn. He will also be stubborn, but her stubbornness is more soft stubbornness. That's a bad word, but it's a cool kind of stubbornness. Father is like hard kind of stubbornness. That's the difference. She says, no, we are doing this. And then no argument. Whereas father will say, if you disagree with him, he will basically take it upon himself to argue with you to the death. Basically, he will keep arguing with you for the next week. Every day he will pick it up and finally you have to say, yes, you are right. And then only he will give up. That kind of person father will be. Why? Because the 9th house is Aries. Aries itself shows stubbornness. And how is the Lord, Mars, who is in the 6th house of winning the day, of winning over people, with Rahu. So because that Mars is in the 6th house with Rahu, he has to win at any cost. So he cannot just do it. He has to win. So he will be very, very stubborn and maybe a little arrogant also. Mars is Rahu. Now, yeah, who is he more close to? Father or mother? What do you think? Anybody for father? Anybody for father? Everybody for mother? Because Jupiter is in the 4th house and Lagna Lord is Sun, they are friends and they are in Kendra. Whereas Mars, 9th Lord, even though he is a friend of Sun, he is with Rahu. He doesn't have a good positional relationship with Sun. So he will be good with both, like you said. So probably closer to mother. Closer to mother than father, probably. More comfortable with mother than father. Actually may have arguments with father also. So relationship is better with mother. Both are Aries, basically Aries types. Both are very, two Aries types. Basically you bring two rams. Only one ram will basically win. He will be the king of the domain. The other ram has to go out. So both are like that. Really. Whereas mother is Scorpio, so she can adjust. Scorpio is more accommodative than Aries. And moreover, this house has Jupiter in it. It's not Jupiter, it's closed of moon. So that is it. And moreover, if you see Sun and Saturn, moon, because not only houses, not only the 4th and 9th house, see the Karakas also. See Sun and moon, how strong are they? If you see Sun, if you see first moon, is it strong here? Is in a trine, is in a friendly house, strong, and his dispositor is in the 12th house for him. Excellent. From moon, if any planet is in the 12th or 2nd house, that is good. There are two yogas, Sanafa and Anapha yoga. Any planet in the 2nd from moon will give Sanafa yoga. Any planet in the 12th house from moon will give Anapha yoga. Both are very auspicious yoga. And if planets are in both the houses, is a yoga called Durandhara yoga or Buddha yoga or Durandhara yoga. So here Jupiter is giving Anapha yoga. So Jupiter is very well placed. So there is a very benefic planet giving Anapha yoga. So that is good. Moon is strong. How is Sun? He is with Mercury, another benefic planet, but look at who are hemming him. Who are causing scissor conflict? Saturn in the 12th house on one side of Sun, on one side of Sun, and Mars and Rahu on the other side. So the malefic planets, three malefic planets are giving Kattari on Sun. He is hemmed by malefic. That is always a bad yoga. The planet is hemmed by malefic, that is bad, especially if those malefics are your enemies, even worse. Here Saturn and Rahu are enemies of Sun. So he is being hemmed by two enemies. So the Papakattari yoga, the malefic scissor combination, is translated into English. So Papakattari yoga is a bad combination. So Sun has some undesirable yoga compared to me. So overall, he is happier with mother than with father. Okay. Anything you want to say? Anything else? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yoga is formed with conjunction of Boston and Sign Law. And Sign Law combination is not giving the Raja.
What Sign Law combination?
The Sign Law combination, the one side combination,
yeah.
element combination, those are giving Raja. It's a good combination, but it's not really Raja.
That is one view. That is just one view. The view that I hold and also the view that Parasara seems to enunciate is Lagna counts as a trine as well as a quadrant. And more than Lagna Lord and Quadrant Lord yoga, he talked about Lagna Lord and Trine Lord yoga, especially first and fifth, the example you gave, that was specifically given by Parasara as a Maharaj yoga. Absolutely. Combination of 5 and 9 is who? Just 5 and 9 lords. Again there is a Maharaj Yoga given by Parasara. He says if 5th and 9th lords are together and if Lagna Lord is strong, he calls it a special yoga. He calls it a special Raj Yoga. So there may be a view that 9 lords have to combine with a quadrant lord only in order to give Raj Yoga. Parasara did mention Raj Yogas involving just the 5th and 9th. But the thing is, there is a modification there. 5th and 9th lords should be together and if possible affecting Lagna and Lagna Lord being strong. Then that's a really powerful Maharaj.
This is the fourth house when you buy the house.
When you what Lord? Yeah. Okay. House that you buy. Who shows that? What shows that? Who, what, why? Who?
Buying expenditure.
Yeah. Yeah. Mars is the Karaka, okay. What are the houses? Okay. See, what is the first, let us agree on the chart. What is the chart that shows? D4. The house of Bhagya. The house of your fortune. The house of the real estate business. May, but Siddhanta is more. Go straight to that. Rati is physical. Whether you physically enjoy that house or not. All Rati shows physical matter. If I own a house but don't live there, Rati doesn't show. To live in it. Because whether you live in it or just for investment you are buying it makes a difference. But let us ignore all that. Let's look at Chaturthanka. Whether you are living in it or just buying it as an investment, Chaturthanka would show it. Chaturthanka shows all the fortune that you own. And land is a fortune that you own. So Chaturthanka will show the lands that you own and the houses, the properties that you own. So in the Chaturthanka you have to see what house, what house. The house that you own, is it a tangible thing or intangible thing? It's a tangible thing. So tangible things are if you own a house and you live in it and you are happy about your surroundings, that is intangible, the happiness. But the physical home that you live in or the physical home that you own, it's a tangible thing. So the first point is, it is seen from an Arudha Pada. If it is intangible, you see from the houses. 5th house, 4th house, 10th house, 9th house. If it is tangible, you see from the Arudhas of those houses. Arudha 4th house, Arudha 5th house, etc. So it is one of these 8, A5, A4, A10, etc. It is one of the 8 because it's a tangible thing. Now, which A is it? Which Arudha is it? A1, A2, A3? What is the house? What is the house? What is the house of house? 4th house is the house of house. House of home. Okay? Sukhasthana. So you see the 4th house. Now, what is buying? A4 is not buying a house. A4 is just your house. The house that you want. What is buying? What was buying? What is buying? Yeah, 12th house. 12th house is an expense. It's an expense that you are, something you are spending to acquire a house. So 12th house, UL shows a tangible expense. So links between UL, A4, 4th house, 12th house, Mars, Venus, etc. To find those doings. Not necessarily. May or may not. It's giving you a tangible comfort. May or may not give you a tangible comfort. Let's say somebody has A4, let us say, has Mars in it and let's say A9 is in it. Then he may be investing in a lot of real estate, he may have bought a lot of land, and suddenly the price may have gone up 10 times. Because let's say somebody bought land in Hyderabad. And Hyderabad is coming up as a high-tech city now. And let's say the value of the land became 10 times. And the person made a lot of profit. Then that is because of land. So that kind of fortune, things that seem tangibly as fortune, not shown by them. Just buying a house may or may not seem as a great fortune. May also. That is subjective. Okay, so actually, let us do, we have done a lot of examples, but we haven't done, we have done career, marriage, all these things, but we haven't done any buying house, to live or to just own. That kind of examples we haven't really seen. So bring some thoughts to your lecture. If you know somebody, like you yourself or somebody who bought an apartment or bought a house or to live in, not to live in. Both kinds of examples we want to see. So bring some examples to the next class. So we analyze those charts and learn from them. Okay? The next class will be on Vedic also. So bring some. So with that, I will end for today. And do make sure that you see at least 3 charts in the coming week. By seeing, I don't mean just opening and then, okay. Or I don't also mean open the same chart, see Rashi, Navamsha and Dashamsha and count them as 3 charts. Or like you said, see the same chart 3 times. 3 different charts. See, you don't have to see a lot of things. Just take one event, make sense of it. Why it happened? Did it happen at the right time? Of course, if it didn't happen at the right time, you can't tell. Oh, event didn't happen at the right time. It happened 1 year earlier. You can't change it. But try to make sense. And again, if you don't make sense of it, if you can't make sense of it, bring it to the class. You take up in the next class. Okay? Think about it. I haven't really thought about it. That maybe if you know when the lottery was founded, what is the, or at the time when the lottery is taken, maybe there may be some theory, but I haven't really bothered about it. I haven't studied it. If you are interested, you can study it. No. It's actually a huge research topic.
No, because you look at one chart, all the planets, everything like forward line, and 10 people, that's like 10 people, yoga change every time.
Oh, that you can.
That's fine, but you could be one of the coolest guys that.
But the time at which you bought the ticket definitely must have a role. But no, absolutely not.
You're not sure.
That, no, not sure. I'm sure that their charts are also equally important.
Yeah.
Not equally, probably more important. If you don't have a yoga in your chart to make you rich, even if you buy at the most auspicious time, you will not win. So it is not just. There may be links between their thoughts also. And one thing I can say with certainty, they all had great yogas in their own chart. Each chart must have had great yogas, combinations for well. That is one thing. Second thing, if they got together, there must be some links between their charts also. And third thing is, the time at which they bought, that must be a very auspicious. So all of them together will give the result, not just one. If it's an auspicious time, you may or may not. Actually, the way I understood your question was, you know when the Powerball is basically being drawn. So based on the time, can you predict what are those numbers? Is it going to be 5, 25? That I thought you were asking. That you have to do research. You have to do research.
Because time is known, they know
You know the time at which the lottery is being drawn and the time at which Powerball was basically started. The whole Powerball was started. If you know those times, there may be some principle to predict the numbers that are drawn.
You may not see, there may be.
But the thing is, see, realistically we are not going to work on it, we are not going to find anything, so let's forget about it. Any other question? And the thing is, even if you actually find anything, don't tell anything. Because nothing will happen, nothing good will come out of it. All you can do is, if you find out, you can make a few millions for yourself and then keep that. And thirdly, even if you make a few millions for yourself, that's an abuse of the knowledge. I mean, that's a use of knowledge for a materialistic purpose. That is a karma. It may be good for you, you may be able to pay back for that karma with the money that you got, or maybe not. So, all these things are there. Yeah. Everybody, 1,000, 3,000 people died in World Trade Center incident. All their thoughts must have had Martha combination, Murthu combination, death combination, and all of them are at the right time must have come for all of them. Or if an escape happened in an area. So many people, some people escape, some people are lucky. They may be in the same place but then not escape. So basically your chart. And also in those cases, if there is an earthquake or something, there is a mundane chart also for the country or for the things that is traveling. For example, when a flight takes off, to make a chart for the time, it's an inauspicious time, then there can be something bad happening to the flight. And depending on whether all the people who are in the flight, or most of the people, whether they are all running that time or not, depending on it, it may be a small glitch or it may be a terrible accident where everybody dies. So, no single chart decides everything. Your own chart, your country's chart, your group chart, the Muhurta chart, the chart when you started a particular thing. For example, today's class, whether it goes well or not, it depends on my chart, what period I am running right now, your chart, and also the chart when we started today's class. Depending on it, whether today's class goes well or not. So there are so many charts that decide the fate of a particular event. And we specialize in one or two of those, and then we try to basically make predictions based on it. The more factors you consider, you include, it's better off. Okay? And when society is doing something together, the doing itself it has a life of its own. It has a consciousness of its own. If a flight is flying today, when the flight takes off, a new consciousness is born of that flight flying away and reaching a particular destination. That is a new thing that is born. There is a new consciousness in that existence. You may not recognize that as a consciousness, but there is a consciousness in that existence. So that has its own destiny based on the time when it was born. So that also matters. That is why in old days basically, even for a travel to a place, they used to look at a good muhurta and travel, not travel at any previous time. But unfortunately these days, even for something so expensive as blasting of a satellite, they don't really look for an auspicious time. There were a couple of times and really terrible. You can see the muhurta, you can see maybe in the class. A couple of travel year or in the recent one that blasted in the space. You can look at those charts and see fundamental, elementary knowledge of muhurta. You can see that those are terrible times to start. Of course, if we started at a terrible time, it may be a small glitch or a huge thing. We don't really depend on the fates of people who are in the satellite also. So, if everything is aligned, really bad things happen. It's not because you picked a wrong muhurta, something small glitch will happen. But definitely, it's a bad muhurta where there is a strong chance of some problem. So they don't, unfortunately. I don't know the time. If you have the time, you can look at it. But I have the times when the satellites actually but there can be a common combination. We can, if you have the time when the flight took off, you can look at it. But you can take the examples of the satellites, couple of satellites. So, like I was saying, they spend millions of dollars, but they don't really take advantage of this subject. It's a good muhurta. The chance of, what is the chance of something wrong happening in the station, the whole winter basically, people die in this, of the satellite.
Application of astrology in the insurance industry.
That is again, there is some karma involved in such use, but it's used in deciding the muhurta for something like I taking off. There is no karma involved. So that thing can be done at least. Especially flight is a small thing, and you are using a satellite, and when millions of dollars are at stake, and when the technology is not so reliable that you are not 100% sure that everything will be fine. The chance may be 0.01%, but if you keep fixing wrong muhurtas, it will happen 10% of the time or maybe 2% of the time, even though the mathematical probability is only 0.01%. So you can take advantage of astrology in at least that way. Anyway, people don't believe that it is a valid subject. That is why, especially the belief system. They don't believe in it, so they don't believe it. But if they use it, they stand to gain. So on that note, I will answer today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
to Oklahoma City, May 3rd, 1999. And I went to that's an American Indian name. Very something sacred to me. Several hours flew over. Came from the southwest, almost in a straight line towards Oklahoma. I went up through the door. It was about 5:28. Most powerful tornado. 318 miles an hour.
318 miles an hour.
Yes. And the reason, actually, I was looking at it this morning last night, and I have watched another TV show which the name was a historic name, something like Game of Thrones. And we've had 3 tornadoes go through this time. Now, it may be interesting to do this chart. I'm not convinced that there, you can mention sometime that there were lines moving along the earth which block these lines. It seems to me that these lines are an indication of some what's called gravitational accumulation of forces. You could say that the sun and the moon are roughly on the side.